Alright, so this do now, we need to solve the following equations by factoring, and I've given you the methods that you will need to use to factor. So for number 1, you just need to use the greatest common factor. So look at your numbers, so 12 and -3, and think of a number that will go into both of those. The largest number will be 3. And then look at your x's. You have x cubed and x squared. So the largest number that you can take out is an x squared. What you're left with will be 4x minus 1. Once you have it factored completely, you set each factor equal to 0. So you'll have 3x squared equals 0, and then 4x minus 1 equals 0. So for this first one, divide by 3 on both sides, you will get x squared is equal to 0. If you take the square root of both sides, the square root of 0 is still 0. So that's your first solution. For the second one, 4x minus 1, add 1 to both sides, and then divide by 4. So x will equal 1/4. And those are your two solutions. For number 2, we need to use greatest common factor and then difference of cubes. But first we have to get everything onto one side. So subtract 3x from both sides to get the equation equal to 0. Then you can factor out a greatest common factor of 3x, which would leave you with 27x cubed minus 1. So we're not done factoring yet, so this 27x cubed minus 1 is a difference of cubes. So 27x cubed is the same as saying 3x, all of it cubed, and then minus 1 cubed. So your 3x is your A, and then the 1 is your B. So if you remember your rule for difference of cubes, it's A minus B times A squared plus AB plus B squared. Okay, so that is your factored form. Now you set each factor equal to 0. So we're going to have 3x equals 0, 3x minus 1 equals 0, and then 9x squared plus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. For this first one, divide by 3 on both sides. 0 divided by 3 is still 0, so in this case x equals 0. For 3x plus 1, add 1 to both sides, and then divide by 3, so x will equal 1/3. That's your second solution. The third solution will require a quadratic formula, and I'll do that on the next page. Alright, so my A is 9, B is 3, and C is 1. So my quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. And now we're just going to simplify. So negative 3 plus or minus the square root. 3 squared minus 4 times 9 times 1 will all simplify to negative 27. All over 2 times 9 is 18. So now we need to simplify the square root of negative 27. The negative will come out as an I, and then we need to break down 27. Well, that's factors of 9 and 3. Break down 9 into 3 and 3. So there's my group of 2, and then I have 1 3 left over. So this will simplify to negative 3 plus or minus 3i square root of 3 all over 18. Now this can be simplified even more if you look at your your numbers in front. You have negative 3, 3, and 18. Those can all be reduced by 3. So 3 goes into negative 3 negative 1 time. 3 goes into 3 1 time. 3 goes into 18 6 times. So your solution is going to be negative 1 plus or minus 1i, the 1's invisible, square root of 3 all over 6. Okay, and that's your other solution.